Okay guys, I'm making a banana bread today because my husband requested it, and we got some bananas from a family member who didn't want to eat them anymore because they were overripe. Well, I got them a week ago from her, and this is what they are looking like right now, so it wasn't all that bad. But we need 4 bananas first of all that are overripe, because the blacker they are, the sweeter they are. But beware, don't make them too black, because that's going to be gross. There's going to be mold. So, okay, then we need 250 grams of flour, just all purpose flour. It's 2 cups. I have 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and a quarter teaspoon of salt. Roughly, we have 150 grams of brown sugar. Now, you may say, this doesn't look brown. It's not brown. I do not have brown sugar in my house. I thought we did have it, but we don't. This one is a different kind of sugar. It's bastard sugar. It's what it's called where I'm from. It's kind of got the anti-Newtonian abilities, where it's like wet sand stuff. I don't know what you would say, but it's not exactly white sugar. It acts like brown sugar, but it is white. I don't know what they did to it. Then I've got 80 grams of Greek yogurt, which is a third of a cup. Of course, the 4 bananas that are overripe, they can be more overripe than this. This is not even that overripe. 2 large eggs, a stick of butter, a cup of butter, which is 113 grams, and a splash of vanilla extract. And get the good one, not the fake vanilla extract. And that's it. I think it's quite an easy recipe. I've made this quite a lot. I like to, at the end, once the batter is done, I like to stir in some white, some pure, and some milk chocolate. I just chop these up and just stir them through. So that's the thing about banana bread. It's not bread. Don't be fooled by the name. It's not bread. It's cake. There is a lot of sugar in there. The bananas are making sugar as well. I'm putting chocolate in it. Of course, you can put nuts or nothing, but don't be fooled. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. It's sugar. It's cake. It's not bread. Okay, so what you need is a loaf pan. I already put a little bit of butter in there. I'm going to grease it up. Next to the cup of butter, you're going to need a little bit extra to grease up your pan. You're going to need 2 bowls. I got a big one and a small one. The dry ingredients have to be mixed before you put them into the wet ingredients. So the bowl for the dry ingredients can be a little bit smaller. I have a hand mixer. I do not have a stand mixer because that's too expensive. I got one of these, a pannenlikker. It's called a pan licker where I'm from, but I don't think it's kind of a rubbery, flexible ladle. I got a whisk for the dry ingredients, and I have a fork to mash the bananas in. So let's start. I've never actually prepared all of the ingredients before I started baking, so I think this is going to be way more of a chill experience. I don't have to run around and quickly grab ingredients while I'm trying to bake something. So I am preheating the oven right now on 175 degrees Celsius, which is about 350 Fahrenheit. Let's mash the bananas first. I like to ask my husband to cut the chocolate so that I don't have to do it. He usually does it. Starting off with the dry ingredients. Sugar is a wet ingredient, so it's just the 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, salt, and baking soda, and the flour goes in. Whisk them together. You can definitely put in more cinnamon if you like it, and just put that aside for now. Moving on to the wet ingredients. Butter should be at room temperature, but it's freezing outside, so it is pretty cold in here as well, so the butter is not at room temperature. I think I might zap it in the microwave for like 10 seconds. If you do this too, be aware it's going to melt instead of be at room temperature, like half of it is going to melt. Also, keep an eye on it because it will explode if you leave it in too long. See, it's just melted, but it's fine. It's better than hard butter, in my opinion. Cream that together with the sugar. Next are the eggs, which go in one by one. Gross, gross, gross. Yogurt. And the banana. Again, this is not healthy. It's just because there's bananas in there doesn't make it healthy. The bananas in this form, mashing them and stirring them through, they're just sugar and a little bit of banana flavor, but just minor banana flavor even. It's just sugar right now. Can't forget the vanilla extract. Okay, that's mixed. Now we're going to phase in the dry ingredients. So we're just going to do like a third and just mix it. Okay. The next third or so. And the last bit. Now don't over mix. So if this is almost entirely mixed in this last bit, I'm going to stop mixing. The last of the flour is going to combine when I do the chocolate. So if you're not adding anything, you should combine it completely. If you are going to add anything to it, you can mix until it's almost entirely combined so that you sure you don't overmix. Now normally, if you do use brown sugar, this mixture will be way darker, way darker. I've never actually done it with white sugar before, and it's a pretty light batter if you do put in brown sugar, and I would recommend brown sugar because it's just, I don't know, it's more caramelly. It just tastes better in my opinion. So if you do put in the brown sugar, don't be discouraged by the dark color because it's going to be way darker. So I asked my husband to chop the chocolate, but he didn't have time. He is playing on his Xbox, and he's playing a live game, so he's afraid of getting kicked out or something. I'm not sure. But so chop the chocolate. I'm gonna go for 9 squares of each. This is very hard to break, so I guess I'm doing 10. 9. Great. And now we fold in this chocolate. Okay, that seems like it's combined. Now pour the mixture into the loaf pan. And into the oven it goes. It has to bake for about 60 minutes to 75 minutes. And the trick with a wooden stick doesn't really work with this because it is very moist and it will keep very moist. So you just gotta trust the process and just kind of, see where it is. At the halfway point, you can also put a sheet of aluminum foil over it so that the top doesn't brown too much. I did that in the beginning, but I never really did that afterwards because, the batter and the cake was already very dark, so it didn't really matter. I don't know what's going to happen now that the batter is way more light than it usually is, but we will see. So here we have our finished product. It smells really good, but let's cut it up, right? So take it out of the tin. It's always stuck. The more butter you put in there, the better. Get away from here. That will really help it, but I find that this one is always stuck. Maybe a bit of parchment would be. I'm gonna grab a knife. There we go. So some of the chocolate chunks stick to the bottom, so that's why there's holes. It's only chocolate that's being left behind, but overall I'd say this is great. Let's slice off a piece. Here we go. A great, lovely banana bread, which isn't bread. This is not healthy. Have a closer look. It's great. It tastes so good. Now you can store this for up to a week in the fridge, 3 months in the freezer. I wouldn't really recommend that. I tried that before and it didn't taste as good anymore. So I'd say eat it up in a week. Give it to your family members, give it to your friends. It's really good. It's really good. It's moist. It's chocolatey. It's just really good.